The next section down, you can see has a bit of a background. There's some space, so I'm going to go ahead and give myself 100 pixels from this top section. Bottom. Okay. Let's look at this. We've got that full width background just like the one above. We've got an image on the left. Got a couple of headers here. Got a series of icons, and then this is another image. So let's set a minimum height for our section and add this background first. I'm going to make a new section here. Stretch it. And then I'm going to set the height. Let's just let it be 400 pixels. That's fine. Let's go to Style, Background Type, Classic. Set this image here. Here it is, the gray background. And there it is. I'll position this center, which centers it to the horizontal and the vertical. I'm going to say no repeat. I'll say size, cover. On this section, layout, vertical line, middle. That'll keep all the elements centered middle. I can see that the top of this image is above this text. They're not aligned to the top and the bottom as well. So that's what we're going to do. I'll do the text, or sorry, the image first. And looks like I forgot to make 2 columns here. That's okay. There's my image. Let's just add a new column. And I'm going to make 2 headers here. This one says 20,000 plus. I'll make another one. And this says, marketplace owners trust us. Could you imagine 20,000 marketplaces? How many marketplaces do you know about? Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Facebook, you could say, Mercari, Depop, Poshmark, Wish, Alibaba, AliExpress. I don't even know if that's 10. 20,000. Holy cow. After these 2 headers, which I'll style in a minute, I'm going to grab an icon. The default icon is a star, so that's good. There are 5 stars in the section, but because I'm going to duplicate them out, I'm going to wait until after I've styled it to make the other stars. I'm just going to leave it as this gray star for now, and I'm going to add this image in. This image below it, I'll go ahead and update that to the content that it is. Here it is. Very nice. And it's centered. Okay. And it looks like in fact all of the content of this column is center aligned. So I'm going to go to the column and I'm going to say horizontal line, center. You can see that doesn't really do much. I'll center this text here as well. Okay, let's style it out. This 20,000 is huge, and it's that same green. I'll go ahead and put it in my clipboard here. It's already selected. Let's do text color. Just paste that in there. I'm going to go into typography and big. And do it about 100 and let's see, 120. Okay. On the WC Lover site, this plus sign is up and to the right, almost like a superscript, and it's a lot smaller. I don't really know how to do that. And the free version of Elementor, to my knowledge, doesn't have a shortcut to making a superscript. I can do this. I can use a little HTML to summon superscript styling. And I'd close it like that. Oops. Close it like that. But you can see that the plus sign is a little bit above the 20,000. It's not exactly the same. And I'm not sure how they've done it. But it's not really that important. So I'm just going to leave it like this. There's certainly a way. Let's do this second header here. Looks like it's a little bit thinner. And it aligns almost perfectly to the header above it. So I'll just Go to my style, choose typography. Let's do a weight. I'm going to say maybe 400. I think that's correct. And I'll just roll this size slider until I've got, let's go up a little bit, until about right there, I guess. I think this 20,000 is a bit bolder. Just bigger. Let me edit this heading. I'm going to bring the bottom up. I'm just going to adjust my margin minus, let's say, a little bit further. Let's just do 20 pixels. Okay. That looks about right. So let's style this icon now. I'm going to go to style. I'm going to grab, I guess I'll just choose a yellow. Sure. Alright, and maybe it's not so big. Oops. Something about maybe 45. It's a little sharper, but I'll just leave that as well. And then the last thing I need to do is, if I'm going to duplicate it, again, it flows down to the bottom. So we're going to use that same trick that we've been using for those buttons. I'm going to go to Advanced, down here in Positioning, Width, Inline. So that makes the box around the star. It touches on the top, the right, and the left. Gives me a little bit of space in the bottom. There's like a default space. And so I'm going to make a whole bunch of this. I need there to be space between them when I duplicate them. And I'm also controlling the space between the stars and the this image below. Let's have a look at both of those. So there's a very small amount of space here. I don't know, 10 pixels maybe. But here, I don't know, 30 maybe. So I'm going to put 5 on the right and 5 on the left, so that each of these will have 5 and 5, and put 10 pixels between these stars. And then I'll put 30 pixels below them. Here in Advanced, in the Advanced section here. Let's pad them. Well, I'll just use margin because I only need, I'll use margin. Here I'll say 5 pixels on the left, 5 pixels on the right. And on my bottom, 30 pixels. Just push it down. Let's do the top too. We've got maybe, I don't know, it looks a little closer. Let's put 30 pixels on the top and make it fair. See how that looks. I think that probably is right. And now I'm ready to duplicate. And now I've got all 5 stars. The last thing I need to do is control the space between the box and the elements inside of it. I've got, I don't know, maybe a little more than 30 pixels. Say 50 pixels probably, top and bottom. Let's do that. I'll select my section, Advanced. I'm going to pad the top and the bottom, 50 pixels. Alright, I'm going to go to the next section. Right here we've got a pretty close copy. It's an exact copy of this module up here. So I'm just going to take it, I'm going to steal it. I'm going to just make another one. Solve it. Let's copy. I'll paste that section down here. I need to give it a little bit of space from the section above it. I'll select that section above it. To a bottom of 100 there, is that right? That's pretty close. We'll just say it's 100. And I'll bring my content over. Top 9 reasons why people love us. This whole area, I'll just delete that. Alright. Below this section, we have a recurrence of a kind of a section over and over again. You've got this same sort of, just this black and green header with a bolded tail to it. Got a little bit of a text here, this little quote element, and then in some cases we have a link down here at the bottom, another area. And always an image in the opposing section. We go left to right. And we have a break here with this green section, but then we go back to having these sections. Those same sections over and over again. I think there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 of them. So we're going to make this roll well one time, and then 6 of our sections are going to be done. And you'll see down here, this green section is actually pretty similar to this green section here. So we're going to do that similarly. We're just going to do this entire, from right here all the way up to here. We only need to really do 2 sections, and then we just plug our content in. So let's build this out. We've got a wide, a full width section, I'd say, with boxed content, image on the right, and then some text on the left. Let's start it that way. 2 columns. I'm going to stretch my section out. I usually just do this. I'll always give myself the full section. Let's go to, let's do height. Let's set our height to 400 just so we can see it. I have an image on the right. I'll go ahead and put her in here. Here she is. And then on the left, I've got a header, and I'd say 3 text elements. Just grab my header here. And let me get some text. 3 text elements. There we go. Let's get our header right. We're going to do a trick here to get this green. I'm going to style links to be our standard green color, and then I'll set these both to have a hyperlink to them. That way I can use one header and get 2 different colors. Primary support. I'll set that to be an H3. And I'm going to style it. Looks like it's correct already. This is, I've got my H3 at a size 36. Line height is 1.4 EM and weight of 500. And it's also the Poppets font. Size 36. Weight of 500. Line height 1.4. Go ahead and copy this here. Just put it in this text field. I'll copy the quote element as well. And watch what happens when I do this. So this turns into something real specific. In a text element, you've got these 2 tabs right here. The visual is what it's going to look like on the page and a bunch of tools. But if you go to text, just like that superscript tag that I showed you above, they're using a block quote tag. And I could show you how to style block quotes or how to change that, but I'm just trying to make a quick copy. You'll see that happen several times where we copy some text in there and it brings over some styles. So we'll style this with go to typography, and I'll just increase the weight of it. We'll just get it close, and I'll put quotes on it, and we'll just use that for now. And then we have down here, have an issue, contact us. Okay, you see here again, it brought over that hyperlink, and here's the tag and all the information for wclovers.com for that hyperlink. So I'm just going to do this, and I'm going to paste right in here. And you can make a hyperlink by just clicking right here, and I am going to do that. I want it to show green on this. A hyperlink will automatically do that. You control that at the column level. Edit the column and style, and all columns have this area down here called typography, and it controls some styles for the column. In it are the link color and link hover color. I should have turned it off so I could demonstrate it, but I have it set on a site-wide that it's this green. I did it through the customizer, so I don't need to change it here. But this is where you would do it. I'll just grab my green. And to duplicate that, up here, I'm going to go to content, and I'm going to call the A tag. The A tag tells it that you're opening a link. You'd put a whole lot more than just A to control how it works. But you just need A. And that'll happen. And in fact, because this is a little thicker, I'm gonna summon bold styling as well, just to get real close. And I wouldn't really worry about all that probably, and about taking you on all that journey. But I wanted to get all of these future sections right. There's so many of them, and to ignore that just that many times. All right. So we're pretty close. I got to put some space between the top and the bottom, and I'll probably have to add that space below it to push down that next column. So let's have a look here. You can't really tell too well. I'm just going to go ahead and presume, I guess, and I'll pad the inside of this section and use EM, and I'll do on the bottom 2, oops, and on the top 2. Just give it a little bit of white space. The last thing I need to do with this section, I forgot to add that 100 pixels to the bottom. And now it's ready to duplicate. I could just copy it and paste it. I'm gonna move this around, and I'll do that and copy all this new content into here. But because I'm gonna do it 6 times, I'm gonna make use of Elementor's template library. Just give this whole section the way that it's styled and all the content in it, give it a name, so I can just ask Elementor for it and use it over and over again. To do that, you'll right click on the section, the most dominant object, and you'll save as a template. Let's say WC Lovers 2 column. In case I might have some other stuff saved in here. I do, I have a lot. I have a lot of stuff. I use this function a lot, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna insert. In fact, I'll show you how to do it from back here. I'm just gonna choose this add a template. I'm gonna make sure it'll start you here. I'm just gonna make sure that you select my templates. I'm gonna go to WC Lovers 2 column and insert it, and I'm gonna say no to import the settings of the previous document. That's the same document, and I don't need those settings. I don't need document level settings. I just want the section. And there it is. And now I'll pull this over. Let's change the image. Let's have a look at what we have. Got these people standing around these charts, complete front-end experience here. I'll go ahead and copy that, and then we have the same quote module, and we have a link down here at the bottom. So let's change this image first to chart people. Change this to say complete, and inside of all of our tags here, is it front-end experience? I see. There we go. And for this paragraph, I can just paste that section I collected earlier. And let's copy the quote. And I'm going to go over to text and do that. Put my quotes on it. And then feeling tempted, try our demo. Let's do it again. We've got another one right here. I'm going to skip this one for right now. I'm just going to continue making these. We've got in the same configuration these credit card fellows here. Let's go down to WC Lovers 2 column, and no. There we go. Pull this over here. Select the image. Let's change it to credit card. Let's see what it says. Got 100 plus payment gateways, and put it into this paragraph here. Let's change what this says. This says 100 plus payment gateways. There we go. And let's copy the quote. There we are. Okay. This section doesn't actually have a link at the bottom, so I'll just select the link that I brought in and delete it. How's that? That seems to be it. Let's do it again. And no. Very simple to do that. What's our next section look like? Free seller app. And we got this tablet customer person here. Seller app. Let's get the quote text. And we do have a link that says check out our smart seller app. Smart seller app. There we go. Now all we need to do is change the image to tablet girl. And there we go. Going pretty quick now. Alright, let's go down here. Got two more. Free extension with, or delivery extension with free delivery app. So click on that folder and just bring this in over and over again. And they'll just stack on top of each other. How are we oriented? Got image on the left. Let's go ahead and grab all of this. Got a truck. Go. Do all that. Let's make this right here. Delivery extension with free delivery app. There we go. Let's grab the quote. Check it out here. Oops, I forgot to do my, forgot to put it in text. There we go. And check it out here. There we go. Let's have a look at it. Oops. Perfect. One more. Multilingual supported. Make a new one, bring it in. This is probably one of the best things about Elementor is being able to reuse your assets, reuse configurations of things. Save a ton of time. If I had to remake all of these styles every time, that'd be silly. This one says multilingual. It actually says supported. Grab a quote. And there's no link. So we are very close. There we go. Let's have a look. Looks like the image is shrunk down a little bit. Possibly this one too. There we are. I'm gonna put them on, I can put them on large, or I can put them on whatever size. These are all these SVGs, so I'm just gonna put it on custom. On custom, you can set a maximum width or height. And if you don't, it'll just expand to fill its container, which is what I wanted to do. I'm going to change them all. If I had set this style in my template, then I wouldn't have to do this over and over again. Not too much work. Okay. Between here, though, now that we've got all of these sections, that's a lot of work there. Done pretty quickly. Let's go back up and let's work on these guys, these green stripe sections right after front end experience. We got this big stripe here. There we go. Let's look for it. There it is. It's a 2-column section. It is full width, box content. This area here, at least, is similar to this other series that we made up here. And I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to make one of them, and I'll use an intersection to nest them all, and then I'll just duplicate them out. This looks pretty similar to this content up here, actually. So I might start with a base of that and just copy this. In fact, here's that quote module. Very simple stuff. And then a link down here. We can do that with just some underlined body text and make this all out. I'm going to put the background in. I'll set this to 400. Let's say our height, minimum height, let it be. Let's go ahead over to, let's see how this is. It looks like these are even. To keep them even, I'm going to set our sections vertical align to middle so that everything flows to center instead of up to the top. We'll see if that's, I can change it if I don't like that. So let's bring in a header. In fact, copy. And I want to reuse these styles. Right there. What does this say? 40 plus popular integrations. And I have some text. I'll just copy this one here and paste that body text in here. Let's bring this content in. Go, and let's get this quote module here and bring that in also. Just do what we did last time. Put my quotes on it. Okay. In this section over here, or on this right hand column, I'm going to build this series out. I'm just going to go grab in my Rubik's Cube an intersection. Just put it inside of that. And I'll delete this extra column. So now I've got a section inside of this column, and it's got one column. I'm going to do just like last time. I'll add an icon. And I think I can just use some body text for this little area here. Let's do that. This one on the in the beginning here says booking. I'll center that. Okay. These actually have a background. So let's do this. I'll set these two to the green. I'll do that first. I'll select the icon and style. Primary color green. There we go. And then I'll do the background for this section here. Style, background type. I'm doing the whole section's background. Gotta get that green, sort of green background here. I'm gonna bring that in. There we go. I see that's made that about invisible. So now I'm just gonna grab this whole column here. And now let me go to style, background. I'll just set that to white. Those couple of steps have really brought it to be pretty similar. And then I'll change all of this text to white also. All of them. Style the body text. And I'm going to style the quote. I think this is all uppercase, isn't it? I could shortcut to that real quick in typography. I'm just in style. I'll say transform uppercase. You can make it capitalized, which is capitalize only the first letter of each word, lowercase all of it, even if it had capitals when you typed it, and then just whatever it is. And then default, I assume, is normal. There we are. Okay, I'm going to give myself a little padding. I'll go ahead and do that. I'll pad my section. I think I'm going to give it the same 2 EM on the top and the bottom that I've been doing. Something like that. Maybe even a little more in this case. Looks pretty close. I'll settle at 3 and I'll leave it alone. Let's do this little column over here. Wish I could make this a little bit bigger on screen. So in style, I'm going to go to the border. The real reason I'm in border is to turn the border radius up. And to curl the edges of this just a little bit, Just about 20, let's say. Pretty small. All right. I'm going to pad the top of this column a little bit. Just do an EM. Just one up. Let's see, is that about right? Maybe 2. Seems a little strong to me. That looks right. And then I'm going to give it a margin. I'm going to do on either side. They're pretty close together. I'll do 5 on either side. 5 here, 5 here, and then I'll do double that. 10 for below. So 10 for the bottom. 5 on the right. Oops. 5 on the left. You can see it shrink in just a little bit here.
Your 10 has a 0.
That's okay if it does.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, it's not neat. And I think I gotta bring this text almost all the way up to this icon. Let's do that too. Advanced. I'm just gonna pull the bottom margin up until that word is pulled up. Right about there. Maybe I'll change this icon to something a little closer. I think it's a clock. Something like that. Okay. And then I'll just duplicate this and duplicate it again, and then I'll duplicate this section, duplicate that again, and voila. Oh, I need to add that 100 pixels to the bottom as well. That's pretty close. I almost forgot this as well. Go to the section, I'll put that 100 pixels out the bottom. Just push that section down a little bit. You can see that that is the case, that it has a little space. Just put that little space there, push the thing below it down, and then I'm going to add, finally, let's add some text to the bottom of this series here. And this says, view all integrations. And it is centered, and it is underlined, and it is, let's see how it is white. If you hover, it is dark. I'm not going to make it a link and give it a hover state, so I'm just going to set it to be white. And there you go. Okay, so given that, all past all these, we've done these. Here's another one similar to it. So let's just make a copy of that. There's only one other one, so I'm just going to copy it this one time. I'll paste it right here. Now we're ready to go. The only difference is this series is it's below, and this is a single column. So I can get this out of what I have here. I'm just going to take this intersection here, just these top 3, and I'm just going to put it down there. Let's have a look at what's beneath it. Nothing's beneath it. I don't need any other content. I'm just going to throw this column away. And let's center each of these. Stay on content. The center alignment is here. Sometimes to do that, it takes a little bit for it to pick it up. Looks like I've missed a paragraph. I'll select all and I'll turn it on and off. Okay. And then let's have a look at our content. I'll bring this over. It says pocket friendly. There we go. Pocket friendly. Center. There we go. And then what's our quote? It is too cheap, but of course, that's nothing to, that is not to complain about. I would put that on my website too. There we go. And center the whole thing. Look at how it brought that emoji over, even here in the deep text paste. Emojis are deep in the computer now. You can use them in every application now. And this is only a little bit different. Our heading is black, but we have a green price tag beneath it. I'm just going to get close. I'll take this header. I'm going to duplicate it. My goodness, that line height. It's so tall. I'm selecting this top booking here. I'm going to bring this margin way up. Just going to tuck it right underneath it here. I'll just do an even 40. And then I'm going to change this top one. I'm going to change the color to black. Oops, do I have the wrong one? Change to black. we go. There we go. That was almost a disaster. Change this to say 49.00. And it's underlined. And WCFM. We have Ultimate. I can even bold this line. And more or less, you know, we could style this on and on. And then we duplicate it, and then we duplicate it, and then we duplicate it. And then I could just change these icons, and I've got essentially this layout. This one is not quite the same shapes. I'd make these a little bit tighter, square them out a little bit, but essentially, that's what you got.